Shalom, shalom. I want to give our honor and glory to Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushua, this brother Yahweh with the servants. Back at it again with another video through the spirit, right? It says the kingdom, what to hope for, right? The kingdom, what to hope for, right? Because we live in Babylon, man. It's no hope in Babylon, right? We go through so much here in Babylon, trials, tribulation, but there is something to hope for, right? That something is the kingdom, right? That something is the kingdom. I tell you, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Right, so we have hope in the kingdom because in the kingdom everything is going to be different, right? Everything is going to be different. That's what we have hope in, right? So I'm gonna go through a couple of scriptures, right, and tell you and go over like the kingdom of heaven, how things will be through the spirit, right, by the precepts, right? So let's go to the book of start off right here in the Salakia. This is not where I'm trying to go. Right here. Got it right. In the book of Second Idris, right? Chapter 6, verse 9. I'm gonna start off here. It says, For Esau is the end of the world, right? So when we hear about the end of the world, we hear about all these things coming. That's the end of Esau's world, right? And how is Esau's world gonna end real quick? Let's go to Second Peter 3:10. Right? Let's go to real fast. 2 Peter 3:10. Right. So it says, I'm gonna start at verse 2 Peter 3:10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. Right. So the day of the Lord, that's the day that Esau kingdom is done finito. Right. It says, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are in shall be burned up. So what does that mean? Is that everything that you see in Babylon, right? All the buildings and jobs and career, all that is going to be burnt up. It's going to be gone. It's going to be gone. All the high-rise buildings, the apartments, everything, it's gone. It's going to be gone, right? Seeing then, right? All these things shall be dissolved. And so we think about something being dissolved. Just think about when you put sugar in water, or you put salt in water. When you get that spoon and you start mixing around, it dissolves. It meaning it disappears. Right. So all these things that we see before us, at some point in time, it's going to disappear. Right. That's going into the ending of Esau kingdom. Now there's a whole lot more precepts going into how Esau's kingdom gonna be destroyed. We know they're gonna be destroyed by those nukes, right? Nukes are gonna come, right? The Lord gonna send have the nation send nukes to America, right? AKA Babylon, right? And they're gonna destroy this place, right? So boom, right? Upon that happening, right? That's going down, right? Then you're gonna have a translation, right? As in his kingdom is coming to an end, and that's where our kingdom begins, right? So let's go back to I want to get that in context, understand like, yeah, Esau kingdom is going down, but just because Esau kingdom is going doesn't mean that's the end all be all. See, some people all their hope is in Esau's kingdom, right? They put all their belief, their trust into Esau's kingdom, right? They invest their life right into Esau's kingdom, right? But we gotta invest our lives right in the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh, right? Because investing our lives, giving our whole life to Esau kingdom is a vain thing. Because nothing gonna come of it, right? Because his kingdom is gonna be destroyed, right? But the kingdom of Yahweh Shah, right? It will never be destroyed, right? How do we know this, right? Because we know that every kingdom has a destruction point, right? And Babylon has this destruction point, which is coming soon, right? But the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, it has no end, right? I'm gonna get that in the book of Daniel chapter 2, right? So we got to understand that. And this is something to hope for, right? Again, think about it. You got some people, they give their whole lives and dedicate their life, right, to Esau kingdom, right? But they don't put nothing in the basket, right, for Yahweh Shah, for his kingdom, right, to be with the Lord, right? So let's go to Daniel chapter 2 and verse 44, right? It says, in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom, right? That's the kingdom of the kingdom Yahweh Shemel, right? Which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, right? Because before times, right, we was in our homeland. You had some people that occupied our land, and we was shipped off to this place or that place. We had a lot going on, right? But the kingdom that the Lord is about to set up, right, it's not going to be given to another people. It's not going to be destroyed, right? It's no more. Ain't no more going into captivity. None of that, right? That's it, right? It says, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Right, so the kingdom that Yahweh is setting up, right? This kingdom is gonna be forever, and it's gonna break in pieces all the other kingdoms, right? So we got to understand that, right? And imagine you putting your hope in something that's lasting forever versus something that has an expiration date, right? Babylon, America has an expiration date. It's set, but when it comes to the kingdom of heaven, right, there's no expiration date for that, right? So let's go back to Second Esdras 6 and 9. Right? It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right? So Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And that's the kingdom, right, that it's talking about. Right. So let's go to the book of Revelation. Right. We're gonna go to the book of Revelation. Right. Shalom, shalom. So we're gonna go to the book of Revelation. Let's go to 21. We're gonna start at verse 1. Now we go we can start at verse 1. It says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth was passed away, and there was no more sea. Right? And they're just going into, again, this ain't the whole earth just disappeared. No, it's not talking about it. Lord, he had to create a whole new earth. No, Esau's heaven is about to be destroyed, but it's going to be a new heaven. It's going to be the heaven for the Israelites, right? Because this is not our heaven. This is not our rest, right? This is Esau's heaven. Esau's heaven. This is his kingdom. It's set up for him. It's set up for him to be successful. It's set up for him to be whoever and whatever he wants to be, right? But this place is not for us, right? If anything, it's oppression here, right? It's depression here, right? It's strenuous work, right? It's a system pitted against us. It's so much going on here, right? But people, like I said, on good times, scratching and surviving, right? Just trying to survive. You got the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are literally just trying to survive here, right? So, but the new heaven, right, is going to be, which is the heaven of the Israelites. That's the new heaven. That's what it's saying, right? So it says, because it's not saying that the heavens that's in the sky, it dissipates and it just disappears. And Lord, he got to create a whole new heaven. No, that's not what it's talking about, right? It says, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, right? And they shall be his people, right? And God himself shall be with them and be their God. Now this going into, because and this is why it's so important and imperative to strive to be the elect, because that's the same thing that he's saying to the elect. What am I talking about? Let's go to this passage right here. This is speaking the same language, right? Zechariah 13:8, it says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. I will bring the third part through the fire, right? And again, well, not say again, but in this truth, they're going to go through the fire. Believe that they're going to go through the fire. It says, and I will refine them as silver is refined. I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name. I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. right? Same language that is speaking here in Revelation chapter 21, verse 3, right? So as you read on, this is what it starts to say. It says, "And God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes." Right? And you gotta be honest, ask yourself, right? How many of our people sometimes you shed it's times where you might shed a tear in Babylon, right? You said about this, you said about that. You might be not, and it might not be just out of sadness. You might be so angry or upset that you shed a tear, man, because it's so much oppression and turmoil here in Babylon, man. It's a sick place, man. And that's what, and it has to be destroyed, right? But it says in the kingdom, though, hey, it ain't gonna be none of that, right? It says, "And there shall be no more death," right? You know how like you got your family members, you might have lost your grandma, right? Maybe whoever may be your cousin, whoever may be, right? But in the kingdom, it ain't gonna be that, right? You gotta imagine again. This is the greatest place that you could ever think of in your entire life. No man has the ability to say, "Well, I could just stop being depressed. I can stop my family members from dying." You can't stop that. No matter how rich you is, no matter how famous you is, no matter how many cars, houses you own, you can't stop these things from happening. It just happened, right? But in the Lord's kingdom, right, it's not going to be going on for the Israelites, right? Not going to be going on. It says neither sorrow, right, nor crying. So the Israelites, they not going to be crying, right? The people that get saved from Babylon, they ain't gonna be, man. There ain't gonna be no sadness, man. Ain't gonna be no tears, right? And you gotta think about this again. If you just look in Babylon, right? Look at the life of our people, right? When you see them out there, you could just drive down the street, man. You see our people out there, homeless on the side of the street, right? Sleeping on cardboard boxes, right? Not only that, you see children out here growing up without fathers in the home. You see just children out here, just out on the street by themselves. And you wonder like, dang, where their parents at? Right? All kind of stuff just be going on here, right? All kind of things, right? You got children getting all kind of stuff, bad stuff happening to children. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say it, but y'all know what it is, right? But in the kingdom, ain't gonna be none of that going on, right? And you gotta think about some of us grow up with trauma, childhood drama. I mean, not drama, but trauma, right? Got abused as a kid, right? That has happened, right? But in the kingdom, ain't gonna be none of that growing up like that, right? For your children to see that, none of that, right? That's how amazing this place is, right? It says, neither shall there be any more pain, right? You might have pain from infirmities. You might be on your back hurting. You know what I'm saying? Your knee might be hurting. You got people, they be having migraines, right? It be a lot going on, right? They got to dope themselves up on pills, right? Because they going through pain. You got people, they got to get surgery because they got this going on. They got heart disease, so they on heart medicine. Then they gotta have a dang heart monitor on. Like it's a lot going on, right? But in the kingdom, there ain't none of that going on. These are things to hope for, right? These are things to hope for, right? It says, "For the former things are passed away," right? So the former things that we had to go through. Imagine, you gotta wake up. And you got some people that live this every day, right? They gotta wake up. And they gotta go. They gotta hit the ground running at the plantation, right? All they do is just work, right? Because you just working to survive, right? Then you gotta deal with when you at work, right? You gotta deal with Esau. He kind of talking to you crazy. You like, man, I can't do say too much. I have my job. Then you do talk crazy. Then you lose your job. Then it's so much. It's so much, But in the kingdom, it's none of that. Right? Then you got to remember, say, well, then I got bills coming up, so I got a car note. Ain't no car note in the kingdom. Man. Ain't no, I got rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, man, I'm behind on my rent in the kingdom. I'm facing it. It ain't none of that in the kingdom, right? But in Babylon, man, you got to worry about addiction, right? You got to worry about, you got to worry about the light bill, right? If you don't pay your light bill, now you're sitting there, lights off. Right? Can't turn your stove on, cook a warm meal, right? But in the kingdom, none of these things, that's the former things passed away. Like, you don't have to worry about none of that, right? And these are the things that you hope for, right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 36, right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 36. And it says, we're gonna go to verse 22, right? Ezekiel 36, 22. It says, therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whither ye went. Right? So the things that he's doing for us, he's doing it for his name's sake. Right? Let's keep reading. It says, I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them, and the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, saith the Lord God, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. For I will take you from among the heathen. So the Lord is going to gather the elect from among the heathen, right? And let's keep going. It says, and gather you out of all countries, because the Israelites, they are scattered in all countries. They're not just here in America, right? You got Israelites in Germany, you got Israelites in Russia, you got Israelites in Turkey, right? It's Israelites all over, right? And I'm led to believe it's probably Israelites in Australia, right? But even though the point is, right, Lord said he's going to gather all the Israelites out of all countries, and I will bring you to your land, right? And this also, right, what we're speaking about is the same language that's spoken in Isaiah chapter 14, right, verse 1. So when you read Isaiah 14 and 1, right, I'm gonna show y'all real quick. Now we're not gonna go into that. We're gonna go to Isaiah 14 and 1 late, 14 later, but I do want to show you how the Bible is cohesive. Just like how when we was reading in Revelation chapter 21 and verse 3, right, it was saying this, it was speaking the same language in Zechariah chapter 13, verse 9. Right now, again, the Bible is cohesive. So the same language that is speaking here in Ezekiel, right, chapter 36, right, is speaking the same. It also speaks the same language in Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1, right? So I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna tell you this so y'all can understand. So the Bible is again cohesive, right? So I'm gonna just read right here. It says, For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, right, and will yet choose Israel. Now, when it says for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, right, I'm gonna go back, right. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go this right here. When you read what we're reading in Isaiah, Ezekiel 36 and verse 22, right? When it says this right here, it says, therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus said the Lord God, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whither ye went. That is mercy. That's the Lord being merciful. He said, I'm not doing this for your sake. I'm doing this for my name's sake. Because y'all profane my name among the heathen. But yet still what he going to do? He's still going to gather the elect from among the heathen, right? From all the countries, right? And bring them to their own land. That is mercy. So when you read Isaiah 14 and 1, right, it's showing you Isaiah 14:1 is telling you the mercy, and then Ezekiel 36 is kind of explaining it a little bit, right? So I'm gonna go back. I just want to show y'all. Says, let's go back. Isaiah 14:1. It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. Boom, right? I'm gonna stop right there. Now let's go back to Ezekiel so we can see the cohesiveness of the Bible, right? Again, so now we're gonna go back to we was at 24. So we're gonna go to verse number 25, right? It says this: then will I sprinkle clean water upon you and ye shall be clean. So in the kingdom, right, it ain't gonna be no going off. Ain't gonna be in the filthy, being what we are now in Babylon. We in this vile flesh, right? You got lustful thoughts popping in your mind. You got envious thoughts, covetous thoughts, murderous thoughts, whatever it may be, right? Ain't gonna be none of that. And also, he gonna clean us up. He gonna clean us up, right? It says from all your filthiness, right? And I know, brothers and sisters, they get tired. You got to get tired of this flesh, right? You know, you got times. You know how, and brothers and sisters, know what I'm talking about. You probably came off a fast, right? You done had a mighty fast. You know what I'm saying? Had a mighty Sabbath or whatever it may be. Then next thing you know, somehow a wicked thought might pop in. Right, you might have a mighty few days. Then next thing you know, you have a day where you might commit wickedness, or go off or something like that. You have your times where you go off, right? But in the kingdom, it's not like that. It's not like that, and it's tiresome. It's a battle. It's a battle, right? A battle being in the flesh, a battle with the filthiness of the flesh. But in the kingdom, it's no more of that. Imagine that all this fighting we doing now. It's this is the time to fight. This is the time to go through. This is the time to persevere. Because in the kingdom, that's when we truly rest, right? In this state that we're in now, right? Ain't no rest, right? Ain't no rest. Even if you sleeping, man, you might have a bad dream, right? Satan might hop on you and sleep, right? It's no rest here in Babylon. You know what I'm saying? Like, say he comes from all different kind of angles, right? But in the kingdom, ain't gonna be none of that. It says, from all your filthiness and from all your idols, I will cleanse you. So Lord says he's gonna cleanse his people, man. Right? It says, a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. Now, what language is this? Right? What language is this? I'm gonna go to it. Right now, this language is spoken in Jeremiah chapter 31, right? 33, I want to say. But also it's spoken in Hebrews 8 and 8, right? So I'm gonna go to that. So and again, this is also to show the cohesiveness of the Bible. The Bible just not sporadically everywhere. It's got stuff here, it got stuff there. It's all cohesive. It all comes together at some point, right? You just gotta get into it, right? So when you go to Hebrews 8 and 8, right? And we can start at verse 7. Well, we can start at verse 8. Right? It says, for finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in that day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said the Lord. Right? For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. That's us getting a new heart, right? That's us getting a new heart, a new spirit, right? No, Con. Yeah, Con. Remember back. Yeah, a new spirit, Con. That's what I want to make sure I misspoken on that. But yeah, a new spirit, right? So again, it says, for this covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. Right? So, and that also when you hear that last portion, what we see that talked about, right? Revelation chapter 21 and verse 3, right? Zechariah chapter 13 verse 9, right? Same thing in that latter part, right? But the main point I want to bring out when it says, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. This is the same exact language right here, right? When it says this right here, verse 26, in Ezekiel 36 and 26, it says, a new heart also will I give you. So that's how we, and that's true. When you keep reading on in Hebrews 8 and 8, right? You see that. I'm gonna just keep reading. It says, and they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. Right. And that's how we know also that we're not 100% in the new covenant. Right. We're not all the way in the new covenant. Because if we were, right, we won't have to teach each other that. We won't have to teach people that they're Israelites. You won't have to tell people that hey, you can't that you can't break the Sabbath day. You won't have to tell people how to keep the Sabbath day. You won't have to explain that to them. They already know. Right? You don't have to tell them about the dietary laws. They will already know. In the kingdom, they're gonna already know. We gonna already know. Right? It says from the least. So the least of the Israelites to the greatest, everybody is gonna know laws and commandments. They ain't just gonna be like a certain group. Okay, those people, they know laws and commandments, but these people here, they don't. Right? That's how we know. Right? But again, right, when you go to Ezekiel 26, right? We have Ezekiel 26 again. It says, and a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. Right? And this is something again, this is what we hope for, right? That new heart, that new mind, right? The mind that's not plagued with wickedness, right? What's that? When it says a mind that doesn't have intrusive thoughts, right? You don't have to have those intrusive thoughts. It's done with, right? It says and I will and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh, right? It says, and I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. Right? How mighty is that? Right? That's mighty within itself. Right? That you'll be able to walk right in the law, statutes, commandments, and keep the Lord's judgment. Right? No more going off. That's beautiful within this. That's something to hope for. Right? And it says, and ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, right? And ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. He keep repeating this, man. He keep repeating this. This is something to hope for, right? To being with the Lord, right? Being in the land of our forefathers. We ain't got to be here in stinking Babylon no more, right? We can actually be in our homeland, the land of milk and honey, right? The land with the olive oil, all these different things, right? They had going on, the big grapes and all that, right? All that going on. It says, and ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. I will also save you from all your uncleanness. So Lord He's gonna save Israel from all their uncleanness. And I will call you the corn. I will call for the corn and will increase it and lay no famine upon you. So ain't gonna be no more famine. Ain't gonna be no going hungry, right? You have some people right now that go to bed right with no food in their stomach, right? Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Go to bed with nothing to eat. They ain't had nothing to eat all day long. Ain't the kingdom ain't gonna be none of that. Ain't gonna be no Israelite on the ground sleeping on the cardboard box, right? Asking, can I get a dollar for something to eat? They gonna be fed. Ain't gonna be none of that, right? It says, I will multiply the fruit of the tree and the increase of the field, that ye shall receive no more reproach of famine among the heathen, man. So ain't gonna be no more famine for the Israelites, man. Right? That's so beautiful within itself. Right? These are the things to hope for. Right? Let's go to Isaiah 14, right? And we're gonna touch on this. We're gonna touch on this, right? We're gonna touch on this now, right? Right. So it says this. It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Right. So here you have it. It's like, you know, hey, the Lord gonna set us in our homeland. Right. He's gonna take us from all the countries that we're taken captive, with elect us taken captive. Right. He's gonna gather them and bring them to Israel. Right. And it says also that the strangers shall be joined with them, right? And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, for servants and handmaids. Right? That's what the scriptures say. So also in the kingdom of the Israel of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh, the kingdom of heaven, the place that we're hoping for. Right? We talk about, there's no sorrow, there's no tear, there's no death, there's no sadness. Right? We're gonna be clean. We're gonna have a new mind, a new heart, new spirit, everything, right? Righteous, walking in laws, statutes, commandments, not going off, all these different things. But there's even more, right? There's even more, right? Let's go to I want to go to Psalms chapter 149, right? Because it says this. I want to show y'all also how the cohesiveness again, right? So let's go to this right here. It says, hold on, let me make sure I'm on it. All right. It says this, this book of Psalms chapter 149. We can start at let's start at verse 5. Right. It says, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Right. So it says, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. Right. And when you read not Deuteronomy, but Daniel chapter 2, verse 44, right, it tells you that the kingdom that's to come, right, the kingdom of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, right, is going to break in pieces the other nations, right, and also take them captives, right. Well, when you read that in Isaiah 14, right, as well. But I want to show you how it says it's going to break in pieces, right, the other kingdoms, right. And here you read, it says to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, right. That's what's going to be going on, right. The elect, right, the 144. That is going to be the 144, right. It says to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, right. So what we gonna see what their king is going to be wearing, right. Let's get some fetters of iron. This what the elite of Babylon is gonna be locked down in. Right, let me get this right quick. All right, let's go to it. All right, see this? These, I don't know if y'all could, all right, y'all can see this, right? This what they gonna be wearing, man. Right? And I'm gonna say it ain't gonna be no breaking it either. But this what they gonna be wearing, right? Something like this, right? You see that? Kind of something like this, man. Go back. I don't know if I like that right there, but kind of like this, right? But it ain't gonna be exact. But these men, they chained up, right? They shackled up, right? But imagine the elites of Babylon, right? These are these men are symbolic for the elites of Babylon, right? And that's the same passage that we just reading. Dang. Am I y'all? Cause that it done took me a whole nother direction I want to go to. Hold on. Yeah, right here. Right? So these gonna be your elites of Babylon, right? And they're gonna look just like this, Edomites, right? Edomites, different nations, right? Just like this. Now they're not gonna be wearing this, of course, right? But you gonna know what it's hey, this is gonna be the elites of Babylon looking just like this, bound up in chains. Right? And they got the right people, they got the right images for y'all, right? The right people, right? So boom, let's go back to Isaiah chapter we had Psalms 149. Then we're gonna go back to Isaiah. Right? It says to execute vengeance upon the heathen, right, and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. His honor have all his saints, praise ye the Lord. So this judgment was already written. It's nothing any man can say, well, hey, guys, I really don't know how I feel about that. It's a little beyond me for them to go into captivity. I don't know how I feel about that. It don't matter about that. It don't matter how you feel. It don't matter about what you think. It don't matter about if you're a little emotional about it. It don't matter about that, right? It says that to execute upon them judgment written, right? Their judgment is written. It's nothing no man could do about it, right? It is what it is, right? So let's go back to we at 14, right? Isaiah 14, right? So it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, right? And they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? They're going to rule over all those people that had them in captivity, all those people that oppressed them, put their foot on their neck, had them down in the slums, in the trenches, right? Had them being depressed, suicidal, whatever, right? The Lord said they're going to rule over their oppressors, right? And it says, shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, right? Again, we get no rest here in Babylon. We get no rest. We're always working. We always grind. It's always something to do. It's always something to do. Even if it's your off day, it's something you gotta do. Because it's stuff that you couldn't do when you was working, right? So it's always something that you gotta do. But in the kingdom, bro, you can literally rest, relax. And not only is it things that we have to do always here in Babylon in the physical, it's things that we always gotta do in the spiritual, right? We always gotta make sure we beat down that old man, right? We constantly in a battle with him. We constantly battle in the flesh, right? We constantly at war, right? We at war. We working physically, then we at war through the spirit. It's a lot going on, right? But this is the condition of the battle that we gotta fight, right? That's what it is. But if we overcome, if we get the victory in this battle, in this war, you get the things that Yahweh is talking about, right? Yahweh was talking about, right? Being able to rest from your sorrow, right? Being able to witness not seeing any your death of your loved ones, right? Seeing being having a new mind, a new heart, right? The Lord taking away the filthiness of your flesh, right? The Lord saving you for all your uncleanness, right? All these beautiful things, right? Seeing your enemies in oppression, right, in captivity, right? These are things. It says, and from thy fear and from thy hard bondage, wherein thou was made to serve. So we was made to serve in a hard bondage. And the bondage that we had in this captivity right here, but it's a tough, long one, right? Tough one. There's a lot been going on. You know, they were lynching us, still doing it now to this day. They was eating us alive, right? They probably still doing this now to this day, right? You know what I'm saying? Taking our hairs, using them for charity. Like they'll collect some of your hair, they'll pull it out, you know, whatever, however they did. You know, they probably keep the scalp, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But they'll use your hair as a cushion, right, for their seats. Right? That's what they did. Right? They you know, abused our women, abused our children, made men abuse each other. You know what I'm saying? It's so much was just going on here about, and still to this day, right? You got our children going missing, right? Our women going missing, right? It's wild, but this is bad. Like even the men, we got our men going missing, brothers disappearing, then reappearing in the field, and they just bones now. Saying, well, oh, they unalive themselves, right? Like this is a hard bondage, right? But if you make it through, right, you make it through these trials, tribulations, right? You make it through the different afflictions that we have going on, the chastisement, the judgment. If you make it through, right, and endure to the end, hey, Lord willing, you get the kingdom, that time to rest from your sorrow, from the fear, right, from the hard bondage, right? I'm gonna get something else, and then I'm gonna close out. I want to get another point too. Let me get this. Let me get this precept. I want to get this too. Let me make sure this is it right quick. Yeah, this would this is not. Let me say it says and they shall come from the east and west and sit down. I'm gonna read this, but this is not exactly what I'm looking for, but I'm reading this anyway though. But it says this Luke 13 and 28. It says, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. It's going to the it's going to the it's going to the 2/3, right? It says, when ye shall see Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom of God, right? So you're gonna have Abraham there, Isaac there, Yahweh there, Jacob, David, Daniel, Elijah, Elisha, Isaiah, Jeremiah, right? Zephaniah, Nahum, right? All the prophets, they gonna be up in that joint, right? And you don't, and it says, and you yourself thrust out. You don't want to be that people that be thrust out. And it says, and they shall come from the east and from the west and from the north and from the south and shall sit down in the kingdom of God. Right. And so when you think about it, man, all the people, all the men of old, right, that we read about, hey, they gonna be there in the kingdom, right? Hey, as Jake says, it's gonna be lit. Jake like to say things gonna be lit, but it's gonna be like that though. You're gonna have all the mighty forefathers up in the kingdom, man. Right, in the kingdom, going crazy. Let me see if I can find this like this. Let's see if I find it like this. But yeah, this Matthew. It's kind of worded the same thing, but I like how it's worded in Matthew chapter 8 and 11. Right. Yeah, I like this. Right, I like how it's worded right here. Right, so we can just go to Matthew 8 and 11. Just get straight to the point. It says, and I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. So you gotta imagine and you gotta imagine how great this feast is gonna be, right? It said you gonna have Israelites from the east, from all over just coming and having a feast with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in Yahweh. Imagine that, man. Imagine what kind of feast that is. Like even now with Israel, you got people waking up, You might have a camp that might have, they might have 1,000 people, they might have 2,000, 20,000 people, but we're not really united right now. You got this, you got WFI, you got Son of Thunder, you got TheServants, you got IYC, you got Sakari, you got this camp, you got that camp. But in the kingdom, it ain't gonna be this camp or that camp. It is gonna be all Israelites, right? All together, dwelling together, feasting together, serving the Lord together. That within itself is mighty within itself. Ain't gonna be no more division saying, all right, we keep our feast days on this day, and y'all keep y'all feast days on that day, or y'all keep. No, it ain't gonna be none of that. Ain't gonna be no more keeping the feast days on different days. All right, well, y'all keep the lunar Sabbath. Okay, we keep weekly Sabbath. Okay, well, y'all do the full moon. Okay, well, we do the dark. Ain't gonna be none of that in the kingdom. Everybody gonna be on the same type of time. Everybody gonna be keeping the feast on the same day. Everything. Every Sabbath, everybody gonna be understanding it's gonna be the same Sabbath. Ain't gonna be no different Sabbaths. Ain't gonna be all right. Y'all had Passover last month. All right, we got our Passover this month. Right? It's not gonna be none of that confusion, man. Right? In the kingdom, everything gonna be set in order. Everything gonna be set in order, right? That's a beautiful thing. It's something to be said. That's something to look forward to. Right? To see all the Israelites in unity, coming together. All right, that's mighty within itself. But yeah, that's I'm gonna get let me see what my time at. Now I'm good on I'm gonna rest right there. But again, I brought this class out just to give. But I gotta get this one last precept though, because I want to give brothers and sisters something to hope for, man. Something to think about, man. This is something to meditate on. The kingdom, man. Thinking about the kingdom. Let me get this right quick. Let me get 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Right. It says, "For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trump of God. And the dead in the Mashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord." Right? So Lord willing, man, you get caught up in the air, right, with the Lord, and forever be with the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Lord will never edify. I want to give our honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Be a brother and sister, mighty, Shalom. Call me Shalam.